welcome to Astro Reads with AMZN. I am AMZN, and today we are getting into Gemini's August reading. So we're going to start with a general reading, of course. Then we're going to go into love and romance and career and finance, and then we're going to get some advice from my oracle deck. I'll be using my Modern Spellcasters Tarot deck as the main deck today, and then switch to the Mermaid Tarot deck for the love and career readings. So let's get started and see what's going on for Gemini. Ooh. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for August. Gemini. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What's going on for you this month? Just in general. Conceptualizing a lot of things. That's what I feel like. Of course, when isn't something on your mind? Gemini. Oop. That makes sense. Okay. See if anything else wants to come out. Okay, we'll start with these three. Not bad at all. Okay, the first card that came out was the Seven of Cups. Neptune is still retrograding in Pisces, I believe, so, you know, still uncovering a lot of things. You know, a lot of illusions are being cleared, facades are dropping, you know, the veil is being lifted so we can kind of see what's going on. Also, you know, tapping into more intuitive powers and gifts are definitely a part of Neptune retrograding in Pisces as well. Just like, you know, being exposed and aware to them, just trusting that more also. So with the Seven of Cups here, I feel like there's a lot that has been happening for you, a lot of things to choose from, a lot of things where you would like to put your energy. And I feel like that's just very on brand for Gemini, right? I will say just be aware of exhausting yourself, right? Overextending yourself, you know, spreading yourself too thin, so now you can't really give the attention that you need to give to anything. And also just to be aware of, you know, be aware of things that don't always feel right to you, right? Don't ignore that feeling. If something doesn't feel right, if it feels off, right? Again, with all of these things that you feel kind of like pulled to, some things you don't need to jump into right now, or some things aren't meant for you and don't need to be pursued. So use your intuition that way to help you determine where to really put your energy, or what choices to actually make and where to direct your energy. And then we have the Six of Pentacles right after that, which again I really like, because this is just coming into a place where you are able to do for yourself, so then you can do for others as well. And again, be mindful of overextending yourself, or you know, what's the word? Taking on more than you can handle. Be honest about the space that you have for things, the capacity that you have to do something, or to be a part of something, or to just, you know, give your energy to something. Be honest with yourself about that, and be honest with people that you're working with, or are just in relationships with, whether it be working, romantic, familial, all of that, right? But I also feel like with work, you are coming into a place where you're just understanding how your contribution applies to the bigger picture, right? And also providing a space for others to do the same, and come into that understanding on their own as well. which is awesome because this is how we build connections. This is how things come into fruition. Working together with people, collaborating, giving and receiving, all of that. And then lastly, we have the Three of Swords in reverse here. So if there's something that you have been mourning, or things that, have been causing you some type of grief, some emotional unrest, heartbreak, you are coming out of that, which is great. I feel like part of that is because you don't want to be stuck, or feel like, you just have all these kind of like emotions about whatever it is that you might have lost or might be ending, or whatever the case may be, and you kind of like don't want to have all those emotions anymore, so you're kind of like pushing yourself to get out of that space, which is good. But just remember not to do that to avoid your feelings, right? Like, don't try to bypass what you're feeling, because it's important that you feel it, but make sure that you're allowing yourself to feel it and then actively doing what you need to do to get through the feeling. Okay, because at the bottom of the deck we have the Knight of Wands in reverse. So you don't want to start jumping into things now because you're just ready to stop feeling these feelings. You know what I mean? So again, with having a lot of options, or things where you feel your energy is being pulled into all these different directions, like, just remember that not everything requires your energy right now, and it's important to determine what you are capable of dealing with right now, and the space that you have for things. Also, don't just jump into any intimate or sexual relationships casually because you're trying to avoid whatever feelings that that are coming up or that you're currently experiencing. Okay? I feel like I just had to say that. All right. So, Gemini, now let's get into love and romance. We'll start with single and dating Gemini first. See what's going on for you all in regards to love this month. What's happening for Gemini, single Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus in love for August? What's going on with single and dating Gemini for August? Let's see. Okay. And what do single and dating Gemini need to be aware of in regards to love and romance? Gemini makes my head spin every reading. I just feel really dizzy in my head right now. Okay. The first card that came out here was the Page of Swords in reverse. So I feel like this is you kind of being a little closed off, because you are maybe not necessarily looking to put yourself out there, right? I feel like you are kind of in your head a little bit and not being as present as you could be when it comes to just like, dating and your love life and things of that nature. It could be because of, what you've been through previously, or it could even be just, things that you're working through, like presently, when it comes to the ways that you speak to yourself, the ways that you interact in romantic relationships or in intimate situations. I think that you are kind of questioning yourself, which is why the Page of Swords is in reverse here. You're like, you know, do I like these things? Is this something that I really do want for myself, or what do I want for myself? I'm not really sure. It kind of feels very like indecisive. I feel like that's why my head was like spinning just a second ago. But that's not to say that you don't want to connect with people with the Page of Wands right here. Following after that, you know, you do have this energy of wanting to be social, wanting to engage. Again, you might even be a little sexually frustrated, or just wanting some intimacy or passion in your life right now. But I feel like because you're a little bit too much in your head, it's making it hard for that energy to be expressed, because you're not being as present as you could be when it comes to interacting and socializing in this manner. I feel like, you know, you're very preoccupied, and I think that's what is kind of making it difficult to connect with folks if you've been feeling this way. And you know, to what you need to be aware of in regards to love is when you're blocking it, right? We have the Knight of Cups here in reverse. When you are making it harder for people to connect with you because maybe you're too in your head, or you're being a little more aloof because you're distracted, or you're not stimulated in the ways that you need to be, which is a different thing, but still being distracted, right? So when you give yourself a little bit more presence and stop being in your head so much, or thinking about the next thing while you're here presently doing something right now, that makes it easier for people to connect with you, and to also feel like you want to connect with them, right? Because I feel like that's another thing that Gemini sometimes give off, like they're just disinterested completely, and it's hard to read if you are actually like engaged or want to be there or are interested in any way, shape, or form. So be aware of the ways that maybe sometimes, because you're just so in your head, you don't realize the way that you're being perceived, and that makes it hard for people to connect with you in a more genuine way. So yeah, be aware of that. Be aware of what you're feeling, what you're thinking, and your presence, and you know, a lot. Give yourself an outlet for this energy by being more present. Okay, yeah. We have the Queen of Swords in reverse at the bottom of the deck. You know, you have to drop some defenses a little bit, because, or not even defenses, but just be a little bit more receptive, a little bit more vulnerable and present in that way, so that people can come in and see you for you, and you can connect with people in an authentic way. Okay? Alright, so for committed Gemini in polyamorous or monogamous relationships, excuse me, what's going on with you all? What's happening for committed Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus in regards to love and romance? Let's see. Okay. And what do committed Gemini need to be aware of in regards to love? Ooh, okay. Okay. Alrighty. So the first card that came out here was the Eight of Wands. And I'm going to read it this way. Because it feels like you're at a place where you're feeling like this relationship will either expand or it will stay where it's at. And I feel like either you or your partner or partners are kind of like stalling this like moment to have like that, whether it be discussion or whatever the case may be, about the nature of the relationship and what's happening next, or where it's going next, or what's happening right now, right? And I say this because we have the Devil right after that. So you may have Capricorn placements, or your partner may have Capricorn placements, but someone feels stuck. Someone feels like they're kind of being weighed down or anchored down. And it's not solely the other person doing this to them, but it's also, the Devil is also about the role that you play in keeping yourself somewhere that has you feeling stuck or that has you feeling low. And I feel some pressure on my head, and it feels like this is something that has been on someone's mind for a while. That feeling of being stuck or feeling like they're being held back. And that's why this Eight of Wands is on its side like this, because it's like there is a possibility or room for expansion or room for broadening, right? But is it going to be like taken in the context of this relationship together, or is this on your own? Is this a single thing? Is this out of your relationship? I think that's where this is at right now. And the thing that you need to be aware of, you or your partner needs to be aware of, is knowing when it's time to let go. You might even be just holding on to like grudges or little things that have happened, not being able to let go of something. But with the Eight of Cups here, you have to know when to let go, right? That's also why the Devil is here, right? That's not being able to let go, especially let go of something that is holding you back or keeping you in a place where you no longer wish to be. The Eight of Cups is here to tell you that it's time to walk away when it's time to walk away. And that may be walking away from this relationship, or like I said, it may be letting go of grudges, letting go of circumstances or situations that may have happened that have passed before, and not applying them to what's presently happening. However, if you feel yourself, or if you notice your partner is feeling triggered, or if they've expressed to you that, okay, this behavior triggers me, or this situation is still triggering me, then it's time to have a conversation about that and see where you all can go from there. But, I think you all need to be aware of knowing when to let go, knowing when to recognize that things just aren't aligning in the ways that you need them to anymore, and you're feeling stuck and you're not feeling like yourself. And all of this, obviously after examining things and having honest conversations about what's going on in your relationship, if you come to the conclusion that this just isn't working and there's nothing here for you in that manner, then it's time to let it go. And that's not easy to do, and it's very difficult to confront this type of situation head on, when there's people's emotions at play and all of this energy has been invested into this union. but you have to do what you have to do sometimes, most times, and a lot of the times it's not going to please someone's not going to be happy about it, and that's something that you just have to eat, because you have to make sure that you're happy at the end of the day, right? Yeah, because we have strength in reverse at the bottom of the deck. Granted, we're in Leo season, so Leo's cards are going to be popping up, but just be aware of your ego. Be aware of how this feeling of being stagnant, of being like trapped or stuck. Be aware of the ways that this can influence your actions, especially in regards to your partner and how you speak to them, how you act towards them, right? There's 3 8s here, 8 here, the 8 of Cups and the 8 of Wands. Karma. Just remember how you're treating people. Remember what you're putting into things, what you're saying, the intention you put behind everything, because that is going to come back to you. And we are in the 8th month as well, so you're probably going to be seeing lots of 8s. That's also a number of abundance and prosperity, so you might be in a very difficult spot right now in regards to this relationship, and it may be blocking certain things. So be honest and be real and have these conversations with your partner or partners, and make the decisions that are best for you, and do so with grace and compassion. Okay? Okay. So let's get into career and finance now. Gemini, what's going on with your career and finances? Let's see. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. How are their finances and career looking for August? Let's see. Ooh. Okay. And how can Gemini better their relationship with their career and finances? Alright. Oh, I didn't even notice 2 cards came out with that one. Dang. Alright. Okay. Alright. This is an interesting spread. The first card that came out was the 3 of Cups, again on its side. And I don't normally, like when cards fall out on their side, I don't always read them that way unless I feel compelled to read them that way, and I do. Gemini, I know you're very indecisive sometimes, and when it comes to making certain decisions, you're literally just like in your head, like constantly like going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So that's why I'm reading them this way, because that it really does feel like kind of like a stuck having to make this decision. So the 3 of Cups came out on its side, and that just makes me feel like you are recognizing how when you're around certain people, things go one way. When you're around other groups of people, things go another way in regards to the work that you're doing, and the money that you're investing, the time that you're investing, right? You're really just feeling out certain parts of your network and seeing, okay, these people know how to get things done, these people know how to execute, or these people, like, things are a little bit less orderly, or we've taken a little bit more losses on this side, blah, blah, blah. Like, so you're just realizing like who you're around and what, what's really happening as far as the work that they do, how you all work together, and if it's actually advantageous for you in your business, your career, or not. But I will say though, with the 10 of Wands here in reverse, again, I feel like that's kind of hand in hand. You're just recognizing, okay, what's not working, you're trimming the fat. You're like, okay, this wasn't a good idea, or this wasn't a good investment, so we'll move in this direction instead. Or you are seeing what is working and you're like, okay, cool, we'll keep doing this. But with all of this, kind of like trimming the fat and analysis that's going on, it's not very much of a hands-on kind of thing. And so it is creating a little bit of impatience for you with the 7 of Pentacles in reverse here, because, you want to see actual things coming to life. You want to see the details starting to present themselves in a clearer way, which is totally understandable. But just keep in mind that the work that you're doing here with this analysis and with the trimming of the fat is equally as important as the actual, hands-on work that needs to be done. Because you can't get to the hands-on work that needs to be done if the team doesn't work well, or if you have people that aren't doing what they need to do around you. So remember to be patient, and when it comes to this part of the process, in all parts of the process really, but when it comes to this part of the process, be patient, because you'll start to see the results when more things are getting accomplished, when more profits are coming in, when you feel better about the decisions that you're making. Okay, so in the meantime, continue to do this, look back at, again, what has worked, and continue to push forward in those ways. Right? Because yes, with the 4 of Swords in reverse, you're ready to really go out there and start making more moves, doing more things, interacting with more people, and securing more relationships and collaborations, which again is absolutely important and a part of the process of getting your career in order, getting your finances in order. You have to really put yourself out there. So definitely continue to do so, but just be aware of impatience. Don't rush through things. You're at a very important part of the process right now where you're really, like I said, trimming the fat and building out your team, or connecting with the people that you need to, making the investments that you need to. So that just requires more patience on your end, more intentional action and diligence. Okay? Because that's how you better your relationship with your finances. With the Knight of Swords in reverse here, that's kind of just like rushing into your ideas without really having any full thought about it, not fleshing them out properly, not really considering certain aspects or moving parts that will make this happen. So that is how you better your relationship, by making sure you're not just jumping headfirst into the first ideas that pop into your mind, and you're actually taking the time to flesh them out and see what you can do realistically in the present, while also using foresight to see what can also realistically be done next, right? Yeah, because we have the 7 of Wands in reverse at the bottom of the deck, and you don't want to feel like you're coming to a place where you're running out of options and you feel like you just kind of have to give up on things. You don't want to give up on yourself that way, but then there are things where you have to recognize, okay, this isn't working out, it's not doing anything for me anymore, so let me just let it go, right? So know where you're putting your money, your time and energy in that way. Don't just jump headfirst into the first ideas that come to you, or the first ideas that people present to you. And do your due diligence, do a little bit more research, do a little bit more fleshing out of the details, and then proceed. All right. And lastly, let's get some advice from the Oracle deck. Any advice for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus? Any advice for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for August? Oh, okay, I'll take those. Okay. We have transformation. Then we have initiation. It's my mom coughing. Then we have challenge. And then we have celebration. Transformation. A lot about transformation has come up in this reading. You know, just making those changes. Like I said, shedding. Realizing what's not working, what you're growing out of, and what you need to begin embracing, right? So continue doing that. Allow the transformation to happen. You know, don't run away from it. Don't fight it. Don't avoid it. Don't try to bypass or dismiss it either. Just allow it to happen, because change is inevitable and it's required for you to grow and to do the things that you want to do. Initiation here, you know, that is really just opening yourself up to yourself. It's really taking those steps to being more intentional, to being more in tune with yourself, and in tune with the faith that it is required to bring about the things that you want to see in your life. Bring about the changes that you want within yourself. You know, understanding how to embody those things in your own actions, in your own thought process, in the way that you treat your body, all of that, right? And it does come with challenges, right? With, you know, it's not always going to be easy. It's not always going to feel good. You will lose relationships. You will find yourself in certain circumstances that are uncomfortable, and that is all a part of it. But the celebration that happens afterward is because of this freedom that you've gained, this power that you've regained, and this deeper inner standing and understanding of yourself, and who you are by your own definitions, and being okay with you know, certain changes that occur, and that doesn't mean like it's not going to bother you, but you are just more accepting of, okay, this is what's happening because of this new thing that I'm trying to bring into my life. And that is a cause for celebration, because this is you connecting with yourself, reclaiming your power, reclaiming your time and energy, and loving yourself in a deeper way that nobody else could give to you first, right? You got to give it to yourself first. Okay? All right, Gemini. Thank you for tuning in. I hope these messages resonated with you. Make sure you like and share with the homies. Subscribe. I am open for a reading, so if you would like a reading with me, I'll leave that in the description box. And if you'd like to tip, I'll also leave that in the description box. Thank you again for tuning in, and I will see you all next month.